I'd like to welcome all of you to another one of our paid co-founder trainings that we do on Mondays and Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And here it is, once again, 9:30 p.m. on a Thursday, the January 15th, 2026. And today was an eventful day, being that this is the day of the transition from the old coins to the new coins. We'll be talking about that, obviously. That'll be the subject of today. But before we get started with that, let's go ahead and take care of some business. Yes, this is a paid training, so let's go ahead and open up the chat. And all of you that you're going to use your old wallet address, not the new one, okay? The new one, you just make it and then leave it alone for a year, okay? So your old wallet address, put that into the chat. The one that you've been using all along, you're going to keep on using it, okay? You're going to keep on using it. So go ahead and do that. Put your wallet address in if you are qualified for paid training, and we'll get you paid. All right. So then let's see here. Boy, they got so much I want to talk about. Let's see here. All right. So first thing I want to say is that we have only a limited amount of time before the window closes to do the transition. So let me talk about that for a second. Let me illustrate it by sharing my screen with you. Okay. See that timer right there? Okay. So if you're on your account page, all right, and you don't realize that this is the day we're doing the transition, we've been counting down to this day. You need to click here, guys. Technically, there's two ways to get here. You can also go into the new coin transition, but either one gets you there. We got 7.5 hours to go. And just to give you a report, we have about 850 of you have inserted a new wallet address into here. Okay, right down here. Put your new wallet address in there. And about 600 of you have already completed the transition with all of your coins. Okay, you have four to do. You got to go boom, 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 get it all done. Okay. Once you're done, it'll be grayed out. You can't do anything after that. Okay. You can see what you've achieved down here. Okay. So the coins have been moved. Shows you the total amount that's going to go into each of the smart contracts. Each of you are going to get four smart contracts, one for each blockchain. Okay. It's important that we get this done before the timer comes to zero, guys. So if you haven't done it yet, what's holding you up? We need to kind of like light a fire under some of you that haven't completed the task yet. If you're here at the training and you haven't done that yet, please get it done. You can go to the YouTube channel. There's always good stuff on the YouTube channel. Way to get there is go to YouTube and you can put in Bitcoin Ace. The PF is our logo, right?
We will give you
And then you click on videos. And right here is a short transition demo that I did personally to show you step by step exactly how to do the transition. Literally, some of you are getting it done in a matter of seconds because it's pretty, some of you got really fast connections and it's like click, 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 and then you're done. But I talked you through very carefully on this video. So if you haven't completed the task, watch this video here. So far, it's had 192 views.
Well,
And then
yes.
You'll know that you're following the right instructions. Okay, you got to get that done. All right. So, all right. The next thing I want to talk about is we are entering into the dynamic change. Okay. within pool funding. We're calling it the two-tiered system, a system that runs on the new coins and another tier running on the old coins. So we're going to be moving forward with two tiers, new coins and old coins. You'll be able to make payments depending on which tier you're in. You'll be able to make daily payments into, those different coins depending on which tier you're in. Okay. For those that get left behind for failure to complete the transition in a timely manner, okay, then you're going to be in the lower tier. And what you need to know is you have sacrificed all of your holdings that were being held because you've chosen to stay in the lower tier. And so this is a reset. What we're going through right now, guys, we could easily call it a reset. And in a reset, we like to kind of clear the slate, start new. And so if you're in with the new coins, no problem. But if you're in the lower tier with the old coins, then you're going to lose all the holdings. They're gone. Okay, you're basically starting over. Remember, we season the coins for 90 days before they're released into your wallet. Okay, and the other thing you need to know is that if you're on the lower tier, then when you actually do the daily task of making payments, the $1, $10, $100, you need to know, as always, this has been the case for many months already, you're getting paid based on the price targets, the first price targets for all coins, for the old coins and the new coins. So both the old and the new coins have the same initial price target. The price target for PFI, $500,000. Price target for PFB, $1 million. Price target for PFS, $2 million. And the price target for PFG, $4 million. Okay. But right now we don't have that $1,000 or that fourth pool open. So you're not accumulating coins through the website yet from the $1,000 pool. But let me just show you with the very tiny prices that we have right now for PFI, PFB, PFS, okay? The current value of these transitions, or these transactions, I should say, is very, very small, and you can see that here. Okay, I've made my payments today, and I even demonstrated that on that demo video. So I want to go right here. So for example, I paid $1 today, and it's showing up here that I received 0 point, and that looks like 5 zeros to me, and then a 2. Okay. So that's basically if the value of a PFI is $500,000, then that would be $1 worth, $1. But it's less than a 1 cent value right now. So when a person does their person on the lower tier at the current pricing, they're getting less than 1 cent when they spend $1, on in the transactions that we do daily. Okay. Now, if you look at PFB, it's point zero, looks like 4 zeros. My eyes are a little blurry there, and then a 1. Okay. And in that case, that also is less than 1 cent. It's about 5 times more than the other one here, but it's still less than 1 cent on that $10 pool. Okay. So you put $10 of USDT in and you get less than a cent. That's because the prices were driven down way too low. PFS, it's a 0.4 zeros and a 5 at the current pricing. And that works out to be about 2 cents So you put $100 in and you get 2 cents. How about that? So who here among you wants to be on the lower tier collecting that? Who wants to be on the lower tier, guys?
Nobody.
Not I.
All right, well, some of you haven't done the transition yet, and you're running out of time, 7.5 hours. So let's get the word out. So if you have referrals, contact them and make sure that they have been given the opportunity to know how to do this transition and guide them. Okay, so each sponsor should take responsibility like that. And if you're an upline with a team, you maybe drill down a little bit, 2 or 3 levels, and just check on everybody and just make sure that they have done their transition. Okay, because no one's going to want to be on the lower tier when they understand that the benefits are on the higher tier. The lower tier, they're in the pit. It's the pits for the people in the lower tier, and they got to dig their way out of those pits in order for them to really enjoy really how our cash flow system works. Okay, so there you go. All right, so that's a pretty clear point, right, guys?
Yes.
Now, a lot of people might be surprised. This is how it's been going, guys, for months. This is what you've been paid for months. So this is what your accumulation has been for months. All right, it's been that way already, and we're going to continue that with the old coins. Now, the new coins, on the other hand, once the programmer finishes the two-tiered system, okay, he's still working on building it, by the way, you know. By the way, I just want to kind of give you a clue what it's like to be in my shoes. Okay. I kind of feel like I'm the pilot of a plane that's up in the air. But the interesting thing about this plane is that it's not fully built, yet we are already in the air. And we're flying this plane while we're building it. Okay. That's what, basically, if you look at any entrepreneur doing anything in the world, you got to have a starting point somewhere. And that flying a plane while building it in the air, that analogy applies to pretty much any kind of endeavor. Okay. And certainly here it's true for pool funding as well. There we've got lots of programming to get done. So in the two-tiered system, that's how it's going to work. Okay. And if you're in the top tier, don't worry, you'll get the right values when the programmer finishes what he's got to do there. Okay, as far as any kind of what you're doing at this point on the transactions. All right, any questions regarding that particular point? Was that crystal clear or was it muddy?
It was clear.
Crystal clear.
Be clear to me.
Pretty clear.
All right, well, let's make sure that clarity gets passed around, okay? It'd be great if they would watch this video if they're not here, I mean, surprisingly, we should have a lot more people here, but yet they're not. And I really think people are missing out because what we're trying to do is put everybody on the fast track to extreme wealth. Okay, we're not talking about wealth. Guys, have you looked at the numbers, what these values look like in a year from now? Okay, we're not talking about wealth. This is extreme wealth. Okay, extreme. So I would think that if the offer is that big and strong to offer you extreme wealth, that we would respond in kind and treat it that way and basically take everything we're doing super serious and know that, you know, we're going to have the power to change the world, but each of us are going to contribute to that, okay, in our own special way. So that's the main thing I wanted to cover today. I just want to let you guys know that, I've had a great time with my family that came out to, that we had the funeral was yesterday. And my father, did get military honors, having served in the Korean War, and you know, the whole flag thing. Got that here. So he had a proper send off, and we all had a chance to speak and kind of talk about his life, and we shared some memories and some good stories. And the thing is, it's over, and it's believe me, yeah, I've been through some stress. You can only imagine, the trying to do this big, massive launch of the reset here into the new coins and the transition, and all at the same time while dealing with family and also the funeral and all the activities that go around that. My time has been really split. And so if you're disappointed in your ability to reach me on Telegram, uh, it's because I'm just one person. There's only one of me, and I can't be at a family gathering and also on Telegram at the same time. I can't be at a funeral and on Telegram at the same time. It should be obvious, but you'd be surprised at the number of messages, the personal messages that I'm getting today, of all days, from people when, frankly, you've got around the clock executives that, they cover every minute of every day, 365 days a year, even on Christmas, even on New Year's, they were there. And there's always somebody on duty, available, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me share my screen. Okay, meet our executive team here. Okay, so there you go. So all questions on all subjects about pool funding, that pretty much covers everything, doesn't it? Should be direct message, direct to one of us, one of the executive team. Feel free to also report website bugs, issues using our systems, and requests for refunds to us privately in a direct message. We post our posters at the beginning of our shifts on the Wall of Joy, so you know who to DM at any given time. Super important that we honor that and let them do their job. That's their job to serve all of you. Okay. I serve as best as I can, but there's just one of me. Um, Today, I also moved into my new apartment in Las Vegas. I found it on Airbnb, just did a 1 month rental. So I'll be here till the 14th of February. And so, yeah, the lighting is different than what you might be used to. So I apologize for, that right there. I'm trying to cover that up with my big fat head, so you guys can see me properly on this call. But yeah, it's a very nice unit here in Las Vegas. It was affordable, all that. So that means that I've got potential of, maybe going and see more of you. I really do want to meet all of our wells. I've got quite a few of you that are in the U.S. You're on my mind. You're in my heart. But yeah, today was a hectic day. Renewing the car rental at the car rental. I had to do that today too. So it's quite a bit going on today. But all the family is left. Now I'm alone here. So that does mean I will actually have more time than I have had in the last 10 days. The last 10 days have been kind of crazy, but it could be a little less crazy moving forward since the funeral's over and everybody's going back to their respective homes around, all over, mostly in the US. So really was special to me to reunite with brothers and sisters and nephews and even my ex-wife. I haven't seen her since she became my ex-wife. So she showed up with our daughter. Hadn't seen her since that time as well. And so yeah, I got to see a lot of people that matter to me in my life. So uh and yeah, you can only imagine emotionally what I might be going through, right? If you can relate. I know some people don't think that men have emotions, but we do. Right, guys?
Yes.
Of course we do.
Sure do.
It's it's surprising sometimes how people think that men don't have emotions, but yeah, we do. Um, and yeah, we're
Being human, yes.
they they have a profound effect on us too. So we're all human in that regard. Okay. And I'm doing my best to manage my emotional state, you know, because life is never going to be like picture perfect. In fact, I don't think we would want it that way. In fact, life is always going to be what I call the mixed bag. And that's going to be true with full funding as well. What we're doing here, it's a mixed bag. There's some great things, there's some sour things, there's some things we wonder about, some things we're certain about, it's a mixed bag. That's life. And we should treat pool funding with respect in the sense that it mirrors life in that it's real. And you know, maybe have expectations that are in alignment with the reality of what it is. Okay. It's a group of people that have come together to do something, but we all have separate lives. We all have our whatever. We all have our things. Okay. And so yeah, another analogy I've used many, many times, many, many years is, doing this is kind of like herding cats. You can herd cattle, right? Cows, right? You can herd them, or sheep, you can herd those. But have you ever tried herding cats? Yeah, if you have a bunch of cats, you try herding them. That's exactly what it feels like in my chair, So this has got things going all over the place. So hopefully we keep developing leadership within our ranks, and we we continue to bring people like Hunter. I'm going to talk about Hunter for a moment. We continue to bring people like Hunter into our group, because people like Hunter, they stand out all by themselves. They didn't have to wait for someone to give them a title or a job, or they didn't have to wait for someone to say, "Hey, step it up." People like Hunter, he just went ahead and did it, and he didn't really need to ask for permission. We embrace everything that Hunter has done and the contributions he's made to the community. And how about everybody unmute and give a big thank you to Hunter? Thank you, Hunter.
Thank you,
Thank
Hunter.
you,
Thank you, Hunter. We
Hunter.
appreciate
Thank you,
you.
Hunter.
Hunter.
Thank you, Hunter.
You're the best,
Thank
Hunter.
you,
Thank you,
Hunter.
Thanks, Hunter.
Legend. Legend.
You're the
Thank you,
best.
Sir Hunter.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you all.
Hunter.
Thank you.
All right, know your love.
Thank you.
I
I appreciate you all. Goes both ways.
Hunter.
All right, so I've seen what Hunter's been doing on the Wall of Joy today, and very impressive. And he really is, you know, lightening the load for our executive team because he's brilliant. He's not just a big ball of love and joy, but he's also very smart. And he knows his way around this digital money stuff. Big time, right? In fact, I think there's some things he could teach me, because he's in certain areas. I've noticed he's a little further ahead on the curve than I am. And even though we probably started learning about this around the same time, you know, um,
I think so.
our
Yeah.
goals have been different. So thank goodness that we have Hunter among us and to help us out. And hopefully in the next 7.5 hours, we can get that gap of like 300 or 400 people to shrink down to zero, because we need about 300 or 400 people more to complete the transition. especially those that are holding on to one whole coin of any coin. If they're holding on to one whole coin, we really want them to move it over, okay? Get it moved over to the new coin where it's really, going to be valued, right out of the gate. So there you go. 7.5 hours. Let's make sure after this training that we go to our teams respectively and, check on each one by one. And have you done it? Have you done it? Have you done it? Because believe it or not, even though we did a countdown, 30-day, 29-day, 20, yeah, we did everything we could possibly think of to get everybody's attention and get them to focus on this day, the 15th of January, 2026. And yet, I'm a little surprised that we haven't had more people already get this transition done. Okay, so let's definitely get it done. All right. Let's see here. So let me give you guys some guidance as to where, after we get done with the transition, where our attention is going to be best served. And that's going to be on our sister website, the pmlcoin.app website. Okay. Our attention is going to be best served by putting our full attention and focus there, because the sooner that we can create price stability with the PML coin, the happier all of us, that are doing, loans every day, that we're lending out every day, the happier all of us are going to be, because once we have proper price stability, then we're free to, go to the market and sell those coins, with no problem. But we're not there yet. So we need to accumulate what's called momentum, especially on the PML coin, and we need to create momentum there. And we need to do it as quickly as possible, because 100% of all of us in pool funding are going to be happy when we have price stability on the PML coin, and there's no need for signals anymore, because we can just keep it open all the time and you can sell as needed. How does that sound, guys? That'll be our focus. How's that sound?
Yep.
Sounds
good.
excellent.
Wonderful.
I love the idea.
Sounds like a
Yeah.
plan.
So that's going to be the focus. I'm just preparing you mentally right now for that, where we're going to be putting our focus, because once we achieve it with one coin, then that gives us the confidence we can do it with all of the coins, including all 4 of the old pool funding coins, which they need to get to their first price targets of 500,000, million, 2 million, and 4 million. They need to get there. We've had some resistance from what we call the sellers. Okay. Most of them have run out of ammunition. Okay. We are doing many things to block sellers from coming back to our websites to get more coins that are, pretty easy to get if you're trustworthy, you know what I'm saying? But when you become banned, we don't want you back. We want you to stay away from our coins, because you've shown us that you don't have, you're not in alignment with this project. Okay, this is a project of cooperation. This is not a project of traders, people trading. That's not what we are. Okay. We want the equity in our coins to be super, super high and super strong, and with plenty of liquidity underneath it. That's what we want to create. We don't have it yet. That's what we want to create, so that we can then leverage that position to create massive daily cash flow and a successful lending program on our sister website. Okay, very important. All right. So, yes, right now, is there a smart contract for any of these coins? No. Okay. The smart contract is a process. Okay. It starts by knowing how much we're going to put into the contract. That's why the transition date today is so important, that we know how much we're going to put in your contract. And your contract's going to have your address. It's going to be the new address you provided us. Okay. And it's a clean address, never been used before, never associated with anything, and there's no commingling. So you can maximize, if there's ever any question, you can clearly show by the transaction history of that address that the coins are a part of a sacred trust inside of a foundation, a Panama foundation that holds tax exempt status. Okay, and then you're holding a little piece of the treasury. Okay, in there. Okay, but when you sell, that's no longer the case. But if you don't sell, then you should be golden. Okay. All right. So yes, we're going to be creating these contracts. It's probably going to be a one-by-one thing the programmer is going to do. It's just going to be a copy paste, put the right amount in and da 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 da. So that's his job to figure out. And by the way, we don't just have one programmer now. We've now upgraded to two. We got two programmers on the payroll now. Okay. That's a good thing. And hey, guess what? We also have a legal team, you could say, is on the payroll as well. That's a new thing. That's a good thing, right?
Yes.
So we're off with a bang here in the beginning of January, in January of 2026. We're off to a bang because we expect to do quite a bit this year in 2026. All right. Yeah, I think that's everything I needed to say today. Do me a favor, unless you absolutely need to talk to me for some reason, or you need to, text with me on Telegram or whatever. Give me a break for a while. Let me kind of catch up. And there's quite a few people that have already sent me a message. I got to process those messages. And it'd be great if I didn't have like a continuous flow coming in, but just had like only people that really need to get a hold of me reaching out right now. Lean on the other people. Okay. Lean on the executive team. Hunter has been great, so just lean on people outside of myself so that I have the freedom to kind of catch up. I really do want to catch up. And I need your help to do it. So that is what I wanted to train you on today. Is there any questions? I see a hand popping up now. So how about we take the questions, or maybe find out what Ruth Brown has on her mind. Hello, Ruth.
Hi, Ace. I wanted to know when do we start the $1 payment, the daily $1 payment? When do we start that? And do we do it on each of the 4 coins?
Not on each, no. Are you talking about the market buy, or are you talking?
Yes, that's what she's talking about.
Okay, you're talking about the market buy, right?
I guess so.
Meaning that you're going to be buying $1 worth of the coin to add to the positive buying pressure on the coin.
Yes.
To help support it going up instead of down, right? We want the coin
That's
value
correct.
to go up, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so we're probably a few weeks away from that. Okay, so if you pay close attention, we're basically earmarking January 15th, 2027 as the earliest that we can open up these contracts and push those coins into your respective wallets. But we're going to have the criteria that you have to do at least 300 days of being active, at least in the $1 pool. So your sponsor's got at least $300 coming in this year. And also you're doing at least $300 worth of a market buy, $1 at a time. And when we do that, we put an offer something like pay $1 and get $3 of coin. How's that sound?
Okay,
So
that
you help,
sounds good.
you help push the price up by $1, and you end up with $3 of the coin in your wallet, to give you an incentive to do that. And you got to do that for 300 days. So if you compare
You'll tell us, you'll tell us when to start?
of course, that's
When
my
do we
job.
start?
Yeah.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
you count on that. So you can take that to the bank. Okay. So look, it's 300 days. So if you do the math, 365 days is a year, and the requirement is 300 days. That means that we have a buffer of 65 days within that year. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that we have a little room to breathe here. So don't worry about it.
Okay.
We're not gonna push it too hard, too fast, where it's gonna blow people out. This is why we want to put our attention on the sister website, because hey, even if someone's making like $50 a day through the sister website, and then they have the means to sell without any concern because we have price stability, then they shouldn't have a problem coming up with $1 a day. That's why we're going to put our attention there first. How about that?
I understand. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Okay, Paul, how are you today? How's things in the UK?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks. Yeah, we're forging forward as always. So yeah, it's all good. I've got one or two people who have had one or two issues with transferring the coins and that, but they're all getting sorted out, so that's good. But my question was just based on what you just mentioned, actually. If we buy $1 a day, it's a fantastic offer that you've put out there that we can have. We get rewarded with $3. So my question is, if I were to put in $10 a day, what would,
Yeah.
would I get $30?
Well, we're going to have other promos. So that brings up, the fact that this is just going to be the main ongoing forever promo, 1 for 3, right? And imagine as we keep growing, right? We have 1,000 people doing it every day. Then we got 10,000 people doing it every day. Then 1 million people doing. Imagine 1 million people paying $1 a day. So $1 million coming into that coin, right? Every day. How about
Yeah,
that?
true dollar cost averaging.
Yeah. Amazing, right?
Yeah,
And so what this does is it creates positive buying pressure, and without it, we can never, really achieve all the things we want to achieve, because it requires us to, have an escalating price value for our coins on an ongoing basis. We don't want to stagnate, and we certainly don't want to fall down like we did last year. Last year, we basically were on our we were on our bellies, crawling our way out of the the decimation that came from the sellers, on the pricing of our coins. They're really horrible, actually.
part of my description when I describe pool funding is to refer to Bitcoin and to explain to people that if Bitcoin, the people behind Bitcoin, of course, there's no one behind Bitcoin, we know that, but if there were a group behind it who'd said, let's work together to organize the increase in the value of the token, let's work as a community to do that, then Bitcoin would have reached its current value probably within 2 or 3 years, not 17 years.
Bingo. Give that man a prize. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the point. So we're talking about a coordinated effort, I'm walking a very gray area. I know what I'm doing, but just it's we have price targets, guys, and we all need to know what they are, and we all need to be committed to doing our part to make it happen. And we're not asking the public that might be paying attention to do that, but we are asking our members to do it, so yeah, you know but it's influence. The bigger we get, the less I'm going to be directly influencing. Okay, I hope you guys understand. You know, that me being an influencer on that, I need to step it back, as we go here. But we're small enough right now. Yeah, it's not going to mean anything, but we need all of you to step it up so you guys can, shout it from the rooftops all day long. That this is a great community and the coins are wonderful and we buy and hold them. We don't sell them. They're too precious to sell. Right? All right. Let's go to Hunter. You got your hand up, buddy. What's on your mind?
All right, so I've had a lot of comments from people talking about the $300, that being the $1 a day market buy. We've had some people talking about if they can front load that or anything of the sort. And I just want to go over why that's a bad idea to anyone thinking about that here on the call. And if you all just indulge me for a second, I'll give a bit of a visual aid.
Okay, let's look at your visual aid.
All right, so here we are at the PFI charts. I'm just going to use that as a stand-in. And now, folks, I just want to ask you, let's pretend that this was one of our new tokens. Now, what do you think would happen if we had, say, 10, 20, 30, however many people put in $300 each into this coin at once? What do you all think would happen?
Skyrocket.
It's gonna go up.
Skyrockets.
It'd be at a million in one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck, it would probably be somewhere around 4 million one day. But if we keep it right there and we don't see much or activity, we see it just coast right around that same line until someone decides to sell for whatever reason. And since we're not seeing much activity here, this is pretty much just stagnant. What do you think happens when someone sells at this point?
It goes down fast.
Crash. Yeah, it goes down,
Yep.
drops.
Down in the gutter.
Yeah.
And yeah, we obviously don't want that now, do we?
No.
Now, if we do $1 a day, or heck, you could do more than that if you'd like. What $1 is the minimum, I imagine. But in that case, if we have $1 a day for the 300 days, we see at first it's just steady. But since we start seeing more people doing that, we start to see steady gains going up slowly, slowly, slowly. And we get pretty good positive price impact to the point where if someone decides to sell for whatever reason, it just shows up as a minor tick down here, right around here, roughly. And that's a bit of an oversimplification, but that's generally how it's meant to go.
That's right.
So ultimately what we're after here is we're not after a flash in the pan. We're after a steady burn. So that's why the concept of front loading is a bad idea. And that's the whole reason why we're doing the $1 a day market buy system in the first place. So yeah, that's about all I have to say about that.
Yeah. Now, I know
Thank
a
you,
lot of
Hunter.
people, they love what they call a set it and leave it type of thing, where you set it and leave it and forget about it. Look, as convenient as that may sound to have something like that, the downside to that set it and leave it system, if you look at set it, leave it systems out there, the downside to that is that you're going to have the majority of people not paying attention to anything. And then they don't really even care because it's not part of their daily attention. So when something's got your daily attention, more care is involved. And that's what we want. We want everyone to care a lot and put, man, this is something, it doesn't take a lot of time, but it does take attention daily. Okay. And that's what we want. Daily attention. Ruth, you got your hand back up. Go ahead.
Yes, I just want to be clear on something, Ace.
Sure.
The $1 a day, is it going to be on one coin or on 4 coins? Do you know yet?
It's going to be on one coin, right? And probably going to start out on the new version of PFS. But even still,
see.
the old coins are going to have the same thing too, because it's a two-tiered system, right? So probably both PFS and the new PFS, it will be where we'll do the dollar. Okay.
So we'll
Yeah.
be doing it on 2 coins, one new and one old.
Come again?
Will we be paying $1 a day on 2 coins?
No.
One new and
No, you're
one
going to be in a
old.
tier. You're going to be focused on the tier that you're in. So if you're in the
Oh,
top
I see.
tier, you're concerned
Okay.
about the new coins, and you'll be paying on the new coin $1 a day. If you find yourself in the bottom tier, you know, then you'll be paying $1 a day on the lower tier, right? So
Oh, okay.
that's how it works.
Okay. I understand now. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of strategy involved in this thinking, right? And so if you think about it, you'll pick up on the strategy. But it just comes down to positive buying pressure. Now, if you take a look at PML, it's got built into it lots of positive buying pressure. I mean, naturally, the lenders have got to buy PML in order to lend it. Borrowers have got to buy PML in order to pay off their loans and get their collateral back and be qualified to get the double rebates. It's kind of like getting free money then when they do that. And that's $50, $100 at a time per loan. Okay. And then you have the incentive to get paid training. You take advantage of the one-off promo where you're buying $100 of PML on the market, and you're getting $200 instantly when you do that through our website. But it's just a one-time offer once you've got it done. But that's $100. Imagine if we grow 1,000 people, 10,000 million. Imagine that, and they all come in with their $100 to do that. Okay, again, talking about tremendous positive buying pressure. And then built into the PML is the incentive that if you want to have 2 loans as a lender instead of one, you have to have over $3,000 of PML sitting in your wallet to be able to accomplish that. So that means some people are going to come in on day one and buy $3,000 so that they can take advantage of that offer. Okay. And then the second offer is if you have $6,000 of PML sitting in your wallet, then you're qualified to get instant um, doubling of money instead of having to wait a month. You don't have to wait for a borrower to pick it up. The guarantee will cover you instantly the moment you're making that payment. You're get double back all in one transaction, and that's been functioning well. And so that's an incentive for someone perhaps even on their first day, come in and buy $6,000 of PML. Okay, doesn't take many of those big ones like that to help push the price up where we want it to be, allowing those that need a sell coin $100, $50, whatever, they can sell against that when we have reached price stability, right? So that's what you have to look. It's like the balancing scales, right? You have the buyers and the sellers, right? And the buyers definitely have a lot of incentive to buy. The sellers, they got bills to pay, but we want to discourage people from doing what we hate to see is gouging. Okay. Anybody who does gouging is just irresponsible, if you ask me. So when you look at things like this, that's a gouge right there, right? Just a complete gouge. Yeah. Not good. Okay. We don't like that. Here's another one there. It's gouge. gouge, a series of gouging in a row. Okay. So that's just that's what happens when sellers kind of take charge. But look, with PML, if we put our full attention on it, we can get that, where it's, piping hot, and we're hitting the price targets quickly, and they're returning on selling, and we have enough positive buying pressure to sustain a little bit of selling against it, and then at some point it becomes stable. Okay. And we reach that point of stability where we don't have to use price signals anymore. So hope that clears it up for you, Ruth. David Kane. Hey, buddy,
Yes,
how are
thank you.
you?
Hello, guys. I was just wondering, we still continue the pool purchases each day, the $1, $10, $100.
For now, unless I tell you otherwise. So
Okay, so what you're talking about with
there's
the
the potential, and I'll be talking to the Wells about this. There is the potential
yeah,
we may put pool funding on pause to put our entire attention on the sister website, PML Coin. So if we find that we need to do that, because again, we're dealing with cats, we're herding cats, so we need to get a single focus, right? So we may do that. Just be aware that that's an option.
okay. So what you're talking about with the $1 purchase, that's something separate you're talking about.
That is
Doing.
separate too. That is separate. It's a market buy. It'll be a promo, and the idea is to create positive buying pressure.
Okay.
We don't
And
have enough positive buying pressure on any of our coins right now. It's clearly not the case.
yeah. Right. Okay. And one other question, the PML, we didn't have, there wasn't any button in the back office to click to transfer that. So we don't need to worry about that one?
Right. Well, I mean, just between you and I and everybody listening, yeah, we did do some transfers, but we didn't do it on an exchange because it was too risky to put it on an exchange with the number of coins we were talking about. So believe it or not, while I'm running around with all the family and the funeral stuff and all that, in between I was meeting with people, and like if you had over $6,000 of a PML, I reached out to you,
Oh,
and suggested that we take what's left over, anything above 6,000, and convert that to pool funding coin. So
okay.
I did that for lots and lots of, basically the whales, that were also holding quite a bit of PML. Not all whales were holding PML.
I see. Okay. I mean, we didn't have to click a button to do for transition of that one.
No, so there was no exchange, that was, made available for that. It was a manual process that I did personally.
Ah, okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah,
All right.
I understand. Yeah, great.
But
Okay.
but the time for that is gone. That was yesterday. Now it's today. Yesterday was the end of that. Yeah.
Okay, so did I have to do something for that or?
You could reach out to me afterwards and to take a look at it.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank
Have
you.
have you already done the transition?
I've clicked the 4 buttons
So you have
in the
done the
back
transition.
office.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
but I didn't know what to do. I noticed there was none there for PML, and I thought, oh, okay.
Because PML isn't included in the transition.
PML is
okay.
not part of the transition.
Oh, right, okay.
That's why I
Okay.
call it a sister website,
Oh, okay.
right? Because it's not
Yeah.
it's not the main website. It's the sister of it, right? So
Okay. Okay. Great. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Clear
You're
it up.
welcome, David. Okay. Back to you, Paul.
Yeah, hi. I've got two questions, sort of. One of them is a real technical issue, so maybe this is not the right venue for that. But the second question, I will deal with that one first. I've got a new member of the team who started 2 or 3 days ago, so they're on the 777 track. And they're expecting to have around $500 available within a week or so to invest into something to do with pool funding. And the question is, what is the best thing to do with them with that 500?
Huh? How to earn it? How to earn it?
No, how to invest it inside, where to put it inside pool funding. My
Oh,
suggestion,
they have 500 that they want to put in at this point.
yeah, well, it'll be in a couple of weeks' time. So my suggestion and my thinking, and I might be right, I might be wrong, is for them to put that into PML so that they can take advantage, so they can build up their PML quantity up to the 6,000.
Yeah, I would agree with that because what you want to do is you want to speed up the process of arriving at $6,000 in the shortest period of time. So the
Right.
accumulation period is going to be shortened if you come in with $500 versus you just
Yep.
start with 50 and then wait a month and do 100 the next month and do 200. You're cutting off like 3 or 4 months of waiting. If you start with 500, you go 500,000, 2,000, 4,000, 8,000. That's over six. You're there,
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Good to know I gave the right advice there. The other one is a technical thing, and I don't know if you want to tackle this now, but somebody put their existing wallet address into the section where you're supposed to put the new wallet address.
Okay.
And then they did the transfer. Is that a major problem?
Well, I guess they could call their tax man and ask him about that.
Oh dear.
Is it a major problem, Mr. Taxman? Depends on the country you're in.
So that can't be corrected.
It can be, but man, as soon as you tell people something like that can be done, then all the worms start coming out. You know what I'm talking about? I hate that.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure about whether to mention it at this point in
I'm
time.
getting all kind of uneasy just even thinking about that right now.
Ditto.
Okay.
Ditto.
Can I jump in on that one,
I did.
Paul?
Forget I said it.
Paul,
Yeah.
find out
Rewind,
how long
delete.
find out how long they've used that original wallet for. If it's only been a short time, clear everything out of it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, that would work then, would it?
So
Okay.
there may be a little tax issue on a couple of things at the start, but as long as everything's been cleared out for the next 12 months, I think they'd probably get away with it as long as there wasn't too much going through it.
The
Okay.
the truth is that when you did all that activity, it didn't create a smart contract, right? So the truth is that before the programmer creates a smart contract, then that's the window of opportunity to say, oh, we need to switch out the address, Mr. Programmer. Can you do that? And but yeah, believe it or not, there's people that will do this crap on purpose. You know what I'm saying? When they realize they can worm their way into it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm cringing even on the subject because
I was just going to say,
yes, they can contact an executive member of the executive team and then go, please, pretty please, and beg their way into, please do this for me. I'm, I made a mistake, you
yeah.
know.
Well, Graham's comment and information was really useful. So thank you, Graham, because I think this particular person joined a while ago, but then they were dormant for quite a while, and they've been dormant for a little while now due to financial situation, whatever. So there won't be an awful lot in their existing account. But then the question arises, and it's a similar sort of situation to some degree, whereby if she did empty that account, then the programmers need to then swap over her existing account, which is linked to the daily payments, into a different account, which can be linked to the daily payments if she retains that one for the tax exempt account.
Yeah.
It's messy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could also, just tell the programmer to watch out for that kind of situation. Like it's like they, just make it as a standard practice of oh, they gave me their old address. Okay, we need to put that contract aside and work on it later and contact them to say we need a new address, So it can go like that too.
Okay. She did set up a new address, so there is a new address. She just didn't she input the wrong address on the form.
Well, the good news is that there's no smart contract created right now, so there's nothing.
Okay.
that's kind of screwed up there. You know, right now it's just database information on the server. So it can be remedied, but for goodness sake, don't do this crap on purpose, guys. Okay, don't try to finagle. This is a team of people cooperating. We don't do things that are, wasting our programmers' time. Okay, I mean, we don't program code fast enough as it is, and things like this add to the amount of time it takes for us to move forward. This is why we don't want that to happen. All right, Graham, you got your hand up.
Yeah, back to my initial question was around collateral for borrowings, especially in the short term while we go to the new coins. We've just transferred all our old tokens over to the contract. Do we just buy new tokens and keep borrowing, assuming it may not be done by the 1st of February?
Right. Well, I mean, that's a great question. And we're right in the middle of the month, so the timing is really cool that we're in the middle of the month and not near the end of it, right? Yeah, we're going to be putting together a line of credit so that's what's going to help us grow really fast. Okay. It's kind of like offering people $200, to give us a try, and it allows them to uh, start without putting money out of their own pocket, but they can engage into our, PML website, our sister website. But that's 90% built. It's not done yet, but we've been working on that for a while. And then once I get that in place, then we go back to filling orders on those paid signups that we did before. So it just feels like molasses sometimes, the speed of things developing, but it's going pretty fast if you look at the world of coding. What we're doing, we're moving way faster than other stuff out there, when it comes to coding, ideas from the ground up. All right, so I guess I answered his question. He left. Where are you?
Just existing people,
Oh, there you
though,
are.
Ace. Existing people. If we roll over to 1st of February and we haven't got the
The
new
line
coins
of
set up
credit will
yet.
work for existing people too. Yeah.
Okay, so we're getting close to that ready for next month. Okay.
Yeah. The line of
Good.
credit will that's the answer for everyone, new
Yeah.
and existing. Because we want to have borrowers. We don't want to just do only lenders, right?
No, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. All right, good deal. And my Jersey girl, Mary, Shioni, how are you?
Okay. So right now we're not supposed to be buying any of the coins, right? Like we're done buying PMI, PML. Yeah, I mean PMB, all the coins. We can't, as far as whales, like can people become whales still? I guess.
You can't be a whale in the old coin. You can't be a co-founder in the old coin. You can't be a partner in the old coin. All the
Okay.
benefits are in the new coin in the top tier. Yeah. So we're not necessarily discouraging people from buying the old coins. If you have the means and it's not gonna, break your
Well,
back, continue buying the old coins because there's definitely a market value there, and these are bargain prices right now. But
well,
we're not.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't move them over, right? So
It doesn't matter if we move them over, we can increase the price of it. So if you buy something for $200 and 6 months from now, it's a $500,000, you're feeling pretty good about what you purchased.
I'm just a little confused because so it would stay in the old coin, is what you're saying.
What's that?
Say if somebody was going to become a whale, say tomorrow.
Yes. But the chances of them becoming a whale tomorrow, slim to none. But go ahead.
Okay. All right. That's what I'm
Pretty
trying
much
to understand.
anybody who's going to be a whale, they've already done it.
Okay. All right.
Today was their last chance, and I wasn't around. So,
All right. And that was my question. That's
yeah.
all.
So
Okay.
I certainly don't want anybody to think that we're abandoning the old coins. We want those to hit their price targets still, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if it's, we're a group of people, some of us have more means than others, right? So those that have more means, we encourage you, keep nibbling away, by buying some of the old coins, continue to do that, for sure. Do it. Because
So, but the
it's on the
promotion,
market. It's a good value,
but the promotion is done.
The current promotion is done, but there's going to be future ones.
Okay. All right.
Ding.
All right. So right now, um, you want us to focus on the PML doing.
Yeah, that's in our best interest that our attention is so powerful on PML that we create price stability fast, right? I really don't want to have the conversation in June how we need to create price stability for PML. I don't want to have that conversation in June. I should be done talking about it by the time we enter March.
Right.
By the
So
time we enter March, we should be celebrating price stability.
So as far as to create price stability for PML, just keep on buying it right now.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Buy it and hold it and wait for price signals and then when it reaches price stability, then you can relax into it and like as needed, like sometimes baby needs to go buy a new pair of shoes, you know what I'm saying? So, and when that comes up after we reach price stability, it's okay. Go get yourself some shoes. Okay.
All right.
Stuff like that.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you.
The actual goal and aim of PML is to basically be a poverty crusher. Imagine a world where everybody is excited about PML and everybody finds it easy to make $3,000 a month using PML. And it's liquid and it's stable. That's a poverty crusher.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the people in the Philippines. These guys they work these office jobs. They get paid $10 a day, which is $200 a month, at what's considered a really good job in the Philippines. But what if they could just stay home and spend a couple of minutes doing their transactions on the PML website, and then they're earning $100 a day, $3,000 a month. That's a lot more than $200 what they're used to, right? And then that means someone else that doesn't need to actually go get a job, and then there's less competition for those jobs, right? See, the reason why that in the Philippines specifically, why it's been the entire time I've been there, um, it's been $10 the entire time. $10. It hasn't increased in, like almost 15 years. It's been $10 a day for 15 years straight that's considered a good paying job. And the reason for that is that there's way too many people than there are jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the Philippines. And so they can keep that down. What happens when all of a sudden a bunch of people are staying home, making $3,000 a month, and then all of a sudden they can't find those people that they need for those office jobs, and now they start offering them $15 a day or $20 a day. That's how the economies grow and develop. So we can have a positive impact on that economy. And it can be true on any economy. The beautiful thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
that's the vision of the PML websites, the starter to everything we're doing. Think of it, pool funding is like a big engine, and inside that engine it has a little device called a starter, and pool funding is that starter. So if the starter's properly working, then the rest of the engine is going to be fine. and that's what we want. So that's why we're going to put a lot of energy there and prove our point. Price stability is achievable. It's not a problem. It's easy to do. It can be done quickly, and that would make Mary happy as well as everybody else.
So what is your suggestion, or what is your strategy
Yeah.
if we all bought how much PML every day to make that happen?
Yeah. You know, the funny thing is, if you look at the liquidity, it would only take about $5,000 a day in one day in buying with no selling, and we'd be at like $1 million.
Hmm.
We've seen it before. So it doesn't even take that much. Like if all 1,000 of us that are, they're kind of well known among our group, that are, what I consider the active ones, if they all did $5 in one day in buying PML, then we'd be at $1 million just like that.
Well,
But
see, I think that would be a good strategy then.
it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the strategies. But that's why I explained before that a better strategy is one guy comes in, just one comes in with $6,000, and he pushes the price up all by himself or all by herself, okay, up to $1 million themselves alone, one person, because the incentive to be able to have instant double money, makes them want to, take that money and put it to work there, you know. And see, you only need like people popping once in a while with those they come in big like that, 3,000 here, 6,000 there. That only needs to happen once in a while, and it creates price stability much faster than trying to convince 1,000 people to all act at the same time. Right? It's easier to get one to act than it is to get 1,000 people to act all at the same time. So that's why the strategy is the way I'm pointing it out. Make sense?
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I appreciate the fact that your mind is going there. That's important that all of your minds go to strategy, because strategy is a key element in any kind of endeavor if you want to be successful at it. Okay. So the fact that you're thinking like that, Mary, is, I find that to be great. I mean, it's good to hear. Yeah. Way to go. All right. I think that's good. I don't see any more hands up. I appreciate all of you coming to another one of our paid trainings. And, we're going to come back again on Monday, okay, to do the same. And by that time, I'll be all settled in my new apartment and all that, and probably, be even fresher than I am right now. You can probably tell just by the sound of my voice, I'm a little tired, So yeah, I haven't had my nap today. So I'm about due for that here. So yeah, so you got 7 hours, guys, to get all of your teams to do the transition. And if anybody's holding on one coin or more in any of the 4 coins, they need to transition immediately, right? So look at how many coins you got, and if you've got more than one coin and you haven't done the transition, you're holding up everybody and making me a little nervous. So get it done, guys. All right, get it done. Guys and gals, okay. I use guys generically, by the way, but I want to include all of you. Everybody matters. All right, so that's it. So how about we take one from our potato farmer? I'm just joking. From our Idaho man, and just say get her done. All right. How about we all do that today? And because the transition needs to get done today. So everybody unmute and say get her done.
Get her
Get it
done.
done.
Get it done.
Get it done.
Get her done.
Get it done.
Let's get it done.